Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back. We're going to talk about some harvest gardens placements, kind of what's efficient, what I found to be the best, and kind of how to set it up. This is going to be a super long video. This was extremely complicated. I'm sure most of you are kind of annoyed with like how difficult this garden is to set up and how you can't like import someone else's garden. But I'll just show off kind of what I have going on here. The tier 1 garden is super easy, right? You just have your 3 collectors here. I don't have too many of these wild seeds, but you do a collector, connect them to a pylon, connect this pylon over here. Same with here. Then you have some pylons going over to your storage tanks. I have a set of 9 storage tanks for each of these types. So here are my purple ones. Here are my vivid ones. Then this is the vivid tier 1. This is very simple to set up. Same as last time. You have your 3 collectors going to one pylon, this pylon. This one, going over here to our big collector scheme. Now for these storage tanks, the storage tanks. So for these storage tanks, you have one pylon here to connect these 2 guys. This one is going to go to just one of these storage tanks, and how they all get connected is you have these 3 pylons on the front here, and these just go all the way down. And I will link in the description the Extreme Garden Layout Guide. This is very extreme. You can really tone this down. I just want to kind of have a garden set up that I can just have a bunch of seeds and then just go throw them all in there at once. Instead of doing them every time, I just want to save up a bunch and have like big gardens. But here we go. Like I said, your pylons connecting, going all the way down here, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And then these are all going to connect to another pylon, going to your dispersers. This is for my tier 2 garden setup. So I have this disperser here, and then you just have pylons connecting to a disperser. You see these are wild seeds, so this is purple. So you need a yellow and a blue disperser for tier 2. And then, for a blue setup, this primal, you want purple and yellow. The guide that I was following had pictures setting up your pylons. Really the most important part is just getting the dispersers here figured out. The pylons you can kind of like goof a little bit, but the disperser placement is really like the only super important stuff. And if you want, you can be really fancy and clean with your pylons, and I was for a little while following the guide. It is pretty simple. You'll see that there are grids, so you can just follow each of the grids, right? You follow them from like wherever you put your storage tanks, and then you have your pylon or your storage tank, and you just go 1, 2, 3 pylon, 1, 2 pylon, stuff like that. Otherwise, as long as you have your pylons connecting to the correct dispersers, which you can see I do because I have blue and yellow up here, and blue and yellow down here as well. Yep, disperser, same here. It should all be good. Now, this is for tier 2 seeds. It's the same thing over here and up here as well. For this tier 1 seed setup, same as last time, I have some extra pylons going here because it got messy. But you just have all your collectors from your tier 1 seed setups going to some pylons. These pylons should go to like your tier 2 seed area. And you can make your tier 2 seed areas like tier 3 or 4 by just adding a disperser color and connecting more pylons from your storage tanks. You're pretty much just taking whatever storage tanks placements you have, putting them on some pylons, getting those pylons to your dispersers for your tier 2 or whatever. And I took my tier 2 pylons. So these were all, connected over here in big circles. And then I have one connection for each color. So here's my yellow coming up here. Here's my purple and blue. And this is where it gets kind of messy because you have 3 dispersers. So you need a blue, purple, and yellow. But you just put 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, and 3 here. It's just like the tier 2, except, off of the collector, you put one and then one on each side. Same here, you can just count them out. 1, 2, 3, and then boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, boom, boom. It seems very complicated at first, but the more you do it, as you keep going with it, it gets very, very easy. And I will link my complete recording of figuring this out, doing all the placements and stuff, if you wanted to follow along with that and just copy whatever I was doing exactly. If you copy exactly, the pylon gets a little messy at the end, but everything works. And you can see these are all set up correctly because you can look at the colors here. We have blue, yellow, purple, blue, yellow, purple. You can look at the lights here or just this little green circle or the little circle here. So blue, yellow circle, purple circle. So you see here I have this all the way down. And this setup here is for tier 3 and tier 4 seeds. You can do just tier 3 setups, but I just wanted to have this, for whatever I get it. I want to never touch this again, okay? This was so annoying. This took way too much time. If we had to do this every league, I don't know. I don't know if I can handle it. Like, unveiling items isn't annoying enough, but like having to set this stuff up, I guess I would get quicker with it every time, but this is just so annoying. It's fairly simple once you figure it out. You just have, tier 1 seeds going to a storage area, the storage area going to like a tier 2 seed area with all the dispersers. You just connect them around, 2 dispersers, 2 pylons in each one of these parts. And you just, go around. The other annoying part is that you have to plant tier 2 seeds by hand, which is super annoying. So, like I said, there'll be the kind of video to follow along, and now I'm going to talk about kind of what to do now that you have it set up. So I have my primal here. It's the blue seeds. So you have to take these out. I only have like one of each, so, clicking them from my inventory, whatever, I've got to do it. So you just do this here all the way around. As many as you have, you're just going to lay them down here. And after you do your tier 2 seeds around this little area here, we'll put this last little one here. So after you do this, it's not completely full like my other one, but that's okay. You have to set these to auto disperse, and then I just like to click them just to make sure everything's fine. So we click all the dispersing stuff, and there we go. Now these need extra seeds here to grow, and you'll see that with a full setup here. I'll showcase these because this is full setup. So these corner ones need an extra tier 1 seed nearby to grow. So this is where you're just going to take out a random tier 1 seed you have, and you just put it, outside the collector range, just so that it has a nearby seed so that it can grow. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that here. We'll do that here and over here. This one, I must have goofed this pylon here. So we'll just go over and get a pylon. I have 100 pylons, wow. Let's get a pylon over here. So we can connect this to our purple, so we can get rid of that other pylon. This is where like pylon placement is like nice, but it really doesn't matter that much. You can keep it clean and stuff, but as long as everything gets connected in the end, that's okay. So now we should be able to put a seed here, and now our tier 2 setup is all figured out. This one I'm missing, some tier 2 seeds, so we'll probably wait on that. You get like a lot more life force depending on how many seeds are nearby. So you see here provides 113 units of raw primal life force. You get adjacency bonuses and multipliers on your life force depending on how many seeds are nearby. So these are all, you can get some of these that have like a lot more. depending on how many seeds are nearby here. So you kind of just want to make sure you have as many seeds nearby as possible. Now, this is a super complicated setup. You don't have to do anything this crazy. Like I said, just the tier 1. You can have just like even these tier 2s here until you get a lot of tier 3s. And then all you have to do is put another disperser nearby. I like to just have this done. I never want to putz with this gardening ever again. So I have tier 3 and tier 4 up here. I just don't want to, be putting dispersers down, putting pylons down. I don't want to have to like put more storage tanks and pylons down. I mean, maybe if I get too much life force or whatever. But it seems like just putting down those tier 2s has just about drained some of what I had left over. But this is just a complete setup. If you do this, you're never going to have to create any more storage tanks or do anything unless you have a lot of excess life force if you're not planting your tier 2s or tier 3s. This is just one and done. Feel free to follow along with my kind of recording. I'll put it at a ×2 speed, although it did take me like an hour to figure all of this out, which is kind of annoying that, this is part of the game and whatever. But this is, super extreme setup. It is what it is. Go ahead and follow if you'd like. Otherwise, you can definitely just do a simplified version, just stopping here at the tier 2s and subbing out some dispersers. You would sub a pylon out here for a disperser. Same here. And you just have to connect a few more pylons when you need to do your tier 3 or tier 4. Anyway, I hope this helps. This is just way too confusing, and I hope the follow along, kind of helps you out. You can just put it at whatever speed you want, but you should be able to get the gist of it. It's pretty simple once you figure out, what to do with the dispersers and how to kind of connect everything. Just don't worry about the pylons. As long as your collector and the dispersers are nearby and you're not putting pylons inside of your collecting area, it really doesn't matter. I could have pylons over here. It just gets messy, but as long as it's all connected in the end, it honestly doesn't matter, as long as you're okay with it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully it helps. I'll catch you later.